Good day everyone, my name is Neoh Shu Khai and my entry number is 299934, and today I would like to present about the study on YTL Corporation's Bwrr in Malaysia, performance and its determinants. First of all, it's about the background of YTL Corporation Bwrr. YTL Corporation's Bwrr was established in 1955 named as Syarikat Pembinaan Youth Line Sendirian. YTL Corporation Bwrr first built road maternity camps and school for Malaya, a young country on the verge of independence. After that, in 1984, Syarikat Pembinaan Youth Line Sendirian changed its name to YTL Corporation Berhad. YTL Corporation is a leading integrated infrastructure developer with operations in key governments included Malaysia, UK, Singapore, Indonesia, Australia, Japan, Jordan, and China. YTL Corporation Berhad is one of the biggest company listed on the Kuala Lumpur Security Exchange, Bursa Malaysia. The YTL Group has grown to serve over 12 million clients globally over the previous 3 decades, with remaining focus to offer quality product and circle at the lower price. The Malaysian Insider report that YTL Communications Sdn Berhad, a subsidiary of YTL Corporation Berhad, was fined RM2.4 million by the Malaysian government for not developing the One Bestari Net e-learning program to 1003 schools as a result for delay getting approved for the construction of telecommunications tower in the Sarawak, Penang, and Kelantan. In addition to the problem with fines, there's also a problem with the impact of interest accumulations, which means that the extra money will need to be spent in order to fix this problem. YTL Corporation Berhad revenue in the water and the switching divisions was negatively affected by increasing interest charge associated with index-linked bonds, with the company securing new contract that did not need cash payment. The objective of this research are to determine the internal factors specific to the firm that may impact the performance of the YTL Corporation Berhad, to identify external factors related to the broader economy that may affect the performance of the YTL Corporation Berhad, to explore both internal and external factors that may influence the performance of YTL Corporation Berhad. The research of the questions included that: do internal factors have the correlations with the performance of the YTL corporations Berhad? Do external factors show any associations with the performance on YTL corporations Berhad? Is there a connection between the both internal and external factor and the performance of the YTL corporations Berhad? The ratio of the company net income to the equity owner by its shareholder is called return on equity, or ROE. A company profitability and the efficiency with which it make profit are measured by its ROE. An organization is more successful at turning equity finance into profit if its ROE is higher. Operation risk refer to the unknown and risks that a business face on a daily basis within a certain industry. Compared to the systemic risks which are associated with the external elementary like the economy, operation risk result from the internal breakdown in the processes, employees, and systems that are specific to every company. It places a greater value on an organization's internal operations that is output, exposing decisions and behavior that may result is in disappointment, lower output, or higher expenses. The methodology employed involved using YTL Corporation Berhad as a representative sample, with the data collected from the annual report between 2019 to 2023. The study focused on the return of the equity (ROE) and the variance determines. The variance include the independence variance such as ROA, operating margin, CG index, average collections periods, current ratios, interest rates, inflations, employment, and exchange rate, while the independence variance was ROE. The data analysis was conducted using the statistical package for the social science SPSS specific IBM SPSS version 26. The table show that finding and analysis descriptive statistic. Descriptive statistic is one of the type of data analysis that structure of the pattern in the data by providing important informations and explanations. The first column show that each of the independence variables and the variables that is independence ROE. Well, the second column show that the average. Finally, the standard deviations of the both the dependence and the independence variable ROE are predicted in the third column. Finding and analysis of the correlations. The results show that with a p-value of 0.311, YTL Corporation's Berhad Financial's performance ROE is significantly linked to the operations ratio, indicating a negative relationship. This means that as the operations ratio decrease, ROE tends to increase. Consistent with the finding, the lower operations ratio indicate expenses are less than the revenue, leading a high profit. Additionally, a positive significant relationship p-value of 0.173 exists between the operations margin and ROE, suggesting that the higher operation margin result in the higher operating profit per ringgit Malaysia's of the revenue. Next is about the finding and analysis of the model summary. With the internal, this analysis showed that just 3 out of the 8 variables has an adjusted. There are 3 significant variance affected ROE, that is operating margin, current ratios, operational ratios. With the external factor, the study found that only 3 out of 5 factor, that is 3 CG index, and employment rate and FS rate, exchange rate, with the internals and the external indicating that only 3 out of 12 variables have a significant impact on the financial performance or ROE of YTL Corporation Berhad, that is the interest rate, current ratios, average corrections period. Next is talking about the coefficients. This internal coefficient study show that the operating margin, current ratios, and operational ratios are not significant to ROE because their p-value are more than 0.10. With the p-value that's of 0.234, 0.153, and the 0.291 respectively. Next is about the external. Based on the finding with the p-value greater than 0.10 specifically, 0.283 for the CG index, 0.294 for the employment rate, and the 0.100 for the FS rate. About the exchange rate is all about concluded that this variable CG index, employment rate, and the FS rate about the exchange rates do not exhibit a significant effect on the ROE. About the internal and the external, the p-value of this study is 0.075, indicating that the current ratios has favorable significant on the ROE. Well, the p-value of the operationals is 0.175, indicating that is moderate negative significance. YTL Corporation's Berhad performance is impacted by 6 independent variables: ROA, current ratios, operating margins, interest rate, average collections period, and exchange rates. However, only display the operating margins and current ratios as important to ROE. The data was sourced from the YTL Corporation's Berhad annual reports, which are available on the company's website. One of the recommendations is to provide instructions to the employees so that they can stay updated of the technological developments and become efficient in the new method and the technology that are created through the research and the developments. Furthermore, it's important that you promote a culture to the creativity within the firm by encouraging staff members to propose and test new concepts. Employee training gives people that the fundamental skill and the knowledge they can need to success in their positions. That's all for me. Thank you.